The smell of bleach clung to Mark's hands as he scrubbed the marble floors long after midnight. He wasn't just a janitor, he was a father. Every mop stroke carried the weight of unpaid bills, school lunches, and his little daughter Emily's dream of becoming a doctor someday. No one at the prestigious company knew the truth. By day he attended Emily's school events in borrowed suits, and by night he pushed brooms in the very building where powerful executives made decisions worth millions. Mark had mastered invisibility. Employees passed him daily, barely sparing a glance. He didn't mind. What mattered was Emily's laughter when he packed her lunch, her sleepy, "Good night, Daddy," when he kissed her forehead. But that night, something changed. As he emptied the CEO's trash bin, a crisp white envelope slid to the floor. His name was written on it, in bold ink. Mark froze. Nobody here should know his name, let alone the CEO. Hands trembling, he tore it open. "I see how hard you work. Meet me tomorrow at 9 a.m. in my office. Don't be late." His heart stopped. Was he being fired? Exposed? How did the CEO know? He slipped the letter into his pocket and worked the rest of the night in silence, fear gnawing at him. For the first time in years, Mark dreaded the morning. He didn't know it yet, but that note would change his life, and Emily's, forever. Mark hardly slept. The letter burned in his pocket like a secret too heavy to carry. At dawn, he made Emily her favorite breakfast, peanut butter toast and a glass of milk, but his hands shook so badly she noticed. "Daddy, are you okay?" she asked, tilting her little head. He forced a smile. "Just tired, sweetheart." By 9 a.m., he stood outside the CEO's office, his janitor uniform painfully out of place among the sharp suits and glossy heels. The secretary gave him a puzzled look before waving him inside. The CEO, a tall man with silver hair and piercing blue eyes, didn't look up immediately. He finished signing a document, then gestured toward a chair. "Sit, Mark." Hearing his own name startled him. He sat stiffly, waiting for the hammer to drop. "I've been watching you," the CEO began. "Every night, without fail, you're here. I've seen the way you stay late, even when no one's watching. That kind of work ethic is rare." Mark swallowed hard. "Sir, if I've done something wrong." The CEO cut him off with a raised hand. "Wrong? Quite the opposite. I know about your daughter. Emily, isn't it?" Mark's chest tightened. "How?" A faint smile appeared on the CEO's face. "Let's just say I've asked around. I was raised by a single father too. I know how heavy that burden feels." Then he slid another envelope across the desk. "Open it." Inside was a check, an amount so large it made Mark's breath catch. Beneath it, handwritten words, "This isn't charity. It's an opportunity." Mark's fingers trembled as he held the check. I can't accept this," he stammered. The CEO leaned back in his chair. "You're not listening. This isn't a handout. It's an invitation." Mark frowned, unsure. The CEO continued, "Our company has a scholarship fund for employees' families, but no one ever thinks about the people working behind the scenes, the janitors, the cafeteria workers, the security guards. You've been overlooked too long. I want Emily to be the first child sponsored through this program." Mark blinked, his throat tightening. You'd do that? For her?" The CEO's voice softened. "She deserves a chance. And you deserve to stop killing yourself every night to make ends meet." Tears blurred Mark's vision, but he quickly wiped them away. "Sir, I don't know how to thank you." "Don't thank me. Prove me right. Keep raising her the way you have." That night, when Mark tucked Emily into bed, he handed her a small slip of paper. "What's this?" she asked, unfolding it. "It's your future," he whispered. Her eyes widened as she read the words, "Full tuition scholarship." Emily gasped. "Daddy! Does this mean I can really be a doctor?" Mark nodded, tears streaming freely now. "Yes, sweetheart. You can." For the first time in years, the weight on his shoulders felt lighter. The mop and bucket were still waiting for him downstairs, but now, they weren't chains. They were stepping stones. Weeks passed, and everything began to change. Emily walked taller, fueled by hope instead of doubt. Mark, though still cleaning floors at night, carried himself with pride. Every paycheck was no longer swallowed entirely by bills, some could be saved for the first time. But what struck Mark most was the way people looked at him now. Somehow, word had spread, not about the scholarship, but about the CEO calling him the backbone of the company. Suddenly, employees who once ignored him began greeting him in the hallways, offering small smiles or words of respect. Still, he wrestled with unease. One evening, as he scrubbed the glass doors, the CEO approached. "Mark," he said quietly, "I know you're grateful. But I need you to understand something, this isn't just about Emily. It's about showing this company that worth isn't measured by titles." Mark stared at him, humbled. "You've changed my life, sir. I don't know how to ever repay you." The CEO placed a firm hand on his shoulder. "By being exactly who you are. That's repayment enough." Later that night, Emily found him staring out the window. "Daddy, why are you smiling?" Mark scooped her into his arms. "Because sometimes, when you least expect it, someone sees you. Truly sees you. And that changes everything." Months turned into a year. Emily thrived in school, excelling in science classes, her dream of becoming a doctor more alive than ever. Mark still worked as a janitor, but with a heart full of dignity, no longer ashamed of his uniform. One day, Emily handed him a handmade card. On the front, in her uneven handwriting, were the words, "To the best janitor, and the best dad." Inside, she had drawn a stick figure in a lab coat beside another holding a mop. Underneath, she wrote, "One day, I'll make you proud." Mark's eyes welled with tears. "You already have, sweetheart. More than you'll ever know." When he later showed the card to the CEO, the older man smiled warmly. "She's going to change the world, Mark. And so are you, in your own way." The truth settled in Mark's heart. Being a janitor wasn't failure, it was proof of love, sacrifice, and strength. Every late-night shift, every aching muscle, every calloused hand had been worth it. The CEO's note had once stopped him cold, filling him with fear. But in the end, it was the spark that ignited everything, the opportunity, the respect, the hope. And so, when Mark pushed his mop across the shiny marble floors, he no longer felt invisible. He knew, deep down, that he was seen, not just by the CEO, but by Emily, by the world, and by anyone who ever believed love was the greatest success of all.